Welcome to the first race at the Vaal, guys. Good to have you all with us. Let's chat about what the story is today with regards to what we're doing with regards to the 8-race program. And we start with our very first race where we're going with number 4, Back to the Future. Odds on 7 to 10. Looks like a typical bipot banker and the start of the opener for the day. We'll start with Darren Burrows in the Western Cape first. Darren, what do you like in the first?
Well, I narrowed it down to numbers 4, 5, and 6. Obviously, Back to the Future being the horse to beat. When stepped up in trip, ran a cracking second behind the Silver Heels. She had Green Bubbles just over 7 lengths behind her. But then again, Green Bubbles wasn't striding out, so she could narrow that gap. And then Memorial Day, she's becoming a professional maiden, but some of her form lines are quite decent.
Okay, Daryl, you're taking the first banker Back to the Future bipot.
Absolutely, Clyde. You can start off on a good note of, she holds her main rival by numerous lengths. There's no reason to believe Green Bubbles will reverse that form. Just watch Green Bubbles move down to the start. I have seen him stride short in the past. If you are looking to take an exacta, see how she moves. But yes, Back to the Future, a banker in the first leg of the bipot.
All right, let's get the bipots up, guys. Take a look at what we're doing in race 1 for everybody. Here's a look at the slide for our opener at this Vaal meeting today. There are only 8 races, and your bipot's on the screen at the moment. That is Daryl Marie's suggested bipot. Light early does seem to be fairly straightforward the first half of the day anyway. And there's your cost. Get your bipot on. On to the second race now. It's place accumulators, and here 7 to 10 or thereabouts about this horse Celtic Rumours, who was very unlucky not to have won last time, seemed to find its feet very, very late. Second choice, number 4, Quixote, who's trading at around 33 to 10, and then you can get 7 to 1 and better about the others. Let's go to Darren. I'll start with you. Celtic Rumours. Surely this is the right one.
Definitely, Clyde. Last time out, I actually threw my ticket away at the 400 because it looked like she was going backwards. And she just hit a flat spot and she absolutely took off late, suggesting the step up in trip from a 1 draw. Everything is in her favor and she could have a touch of class about her. The only danger could be Coyote or whatever his name is, number 4. Good second last time out. He's having his peak run, but I believe Celtic Rumours will take some beating.
And Daryl, just on your side, we had a look at when we watched this horse Celtic Rumours last time. She certainly got lost. I don't know. She hit a flat spot, and then Calvin changed the whip, put the whip in the left hand, and she absolutely took off.
Absolutely, Clyde. The computer form doesn't quite paint the picture. You need to watch that race in order to understand how she flew in the latter stages. Now she's been stepped up in a trip, her dam 1 over a mile. She's got that 3 kg 6 allowance, the 1 draw. I really think it's close to a penalty kick. One runner from that form line, Clyde. Splendid season, came out to win. Coyote, his fair latest effort. He's got course and distance form, having his peak run. I don't think he's got the class that the filly has. And then one you might want to include in your trifectas and quartets is number 5, Bronze Sword. He's been rested and gelded, and judged on his first effort, he could possibly get into that back end of the trifecta.
All right, let's put place accumulators up then, guys. This is pretty much what we'd like to do here in this particular race. We'll start up with Darren Burrows as PA. We got 2, one from Darren, one from Daryl. Darren's place accumulator on the screen at the moment. And what does appear to be quite light on Darren's side, as you can see all those numbers, there are quite a few bankers. Hopefully it does appear to be a friendly or punter-friendly card, let's hope anyway. And there's your place accumulator from Darren Burrows. And then we got the Daryl Marie PA, pretty much the same sort of story really, where the first half is fairly light. He finds it quite competitive later on in the afternoon, but first half does look quite promising. Right, let's get on to the third now. Pick sixes, and this is where we look at Battleground, who's the one to beat your price up at 8 to 10 favourite, ahead of Prime Example, 28 to 10 second favourite. Interesting race, though. Prime Example, we would have, I suppose, some would have had a look at that penultimate starter, put a line through the run, although that run second went far too fast. But Battleground, the stable's right. There's a lot in its favour, Darren, and does look very hard to beat here.
Clyde, this is my best bet on the card, Battleground. When you look at the second favorite, Prime Example, had 15 runs in the maiden, and he's struggling to break a maiden. Battleground, he's been gelded. He's having his comeback run. I think he'll take a lot of beating, and he's got a beautiful action, suggesting that 1800 meters is going to be perfect for him.
Hard to beat on your side, Daryl. What's your take on it?
I agree, Clyde. I think he's going to take a power beating. We saw that form line being franked. African Torrent came out, won again. King of Rome won from there. Otto Lucan won two indirectly. On a line through Otto Lucan, he does have the beating of Prime Example, albeit only about a length, but now he's been gelded. So I'll be disappointed to see him not win in his comeback start. Trifectas and quartets. Look at number, excuse me, Clyde, number 8. American Star, he was caught flat-footed in his last start. I'd like to see him go handier to the pace. I can't see him winning, but certainly for a trifecta or quartet, you have to add him in. And then number 11, War Medal, some improvement in his second start. He could finish in the back end of the trifecta or quartet. But yes, Battleground, the one to be with today.
Okay, Battleground all does appear to be in its favour. Let's have a look at the pick sixes. Darren's worked one out for us for this pick six now, and he's bankering Battleground. And then no more after that. We're going horses thereafter to try and load up as best we can so we can make sure we get some of the action today from this pick six out at the vaal. On to race number 4 now. Jackpots and Broadlands, the one to beat. Odds on favourite. Well, not odds on. It's 15 to 10 with Pomazella 17 to 10. Those are the two pretty much dominating the market. It does appear to be between the two horses in the race. Let's go to Darren Chat about what he makes out of this 1800 meter jackpot. Darren, how have you broken it down?
Well, Clyde, I played the safe route in the exotics. Parmazelis will be my narrow first choice. I would say a bit disappointing last time out, but that was quite a strong maiden where Lady Regent was a runaway winner. Previous to that, she was beaten at odds on. I thought narrowly beaten by a progressive sort in Apache Fighter. I think she'll run well. Broadlands, now she looks to be an out and out stayer. I think she will be looking for 2,000 meters plus in time to come. I like the way she closed the gap late last time out. You could question that form line in time to come, but she's definitely one for the short list and turn the beat around. Now, this filly has stamina all right through her pedigree, and she's going to love the step up in trip.
All right, so you've got quite a few that you like. It doesn't just end with Broadlands. Daryl, where does it end?
Clyde, I've got a slight preference for Broadlands over number 1 Pomazelis. Just based on the fact that her time last time out was much quicker than Midnight Crystal. And you can see between Pomazelis and Midnight Crystal, there's only a half a length separating them. So I don't know what to make of this race, Clyde. I'm not gonna separate them. Like I say, I do have a slight preference for the 5 over the 1. Interestingly enough, both of them get their tongue tied for the first time today. Perhaps Amanga Kamalo got off last time out and said she wasn't breathing well or possibly choked up because she wasn't doing much in the latter stages, and she is better than her later start. Pomazelis, one of the leading lights, number 5 Broadlands, my top pick. She looks ready to break out the exit or to exit the maiden ranks. So for me, far from one. With regards to number 10, turn the beat around. I know she's going to love the extra, but that form line at the moment is suspect in my books.
Okay, well, let's see how Broadlands is going to do over the little bit extra, and it's going to be a very good race. This is what we're doing from a jackpot perspective, guys. It's jackpot time, so let's get those jackpots on. Darren's worked one out, where, as you heard, there are no chances taken, so we're going in the first leg all of 1, 5, and 10. We give all of them chances, preferences for Broadlands, naturally, as you heard from some of them, but ultimately, that's the play from a jackpot perspective. Race number 5, and here they bet 90 to the field. First leg of the second jackpot. Not an easy race, Darren.
Clyde, it's a tricky race because there's a lot of horses unproven over the 2400 meters. I think my first 4 picks haven't tried the trip before. Poet's Warrior could go well. Banner Bridge as well. There's not much separating them. A horse like Go Flickety has stamina all through her pedigree, and she should love the step up in trip with 50 kilos to shoulder. So include numbers 2, 3, and 10, followed by numbers 5 and 7.
Kind of race that you need runners here, Daryl.
Clyde, I thought Poet's Warrior was, well, its latest one was actually quite encouraging up because of the fact that he might have been there to be a pacemaker for the stable companion. I haven't confirmed that, but it appeared to be that was the case, and he just kept on rolling. He's a young up-and-coming 3-year-old. He should confirm that form with Banner Bridge, so he's my slight top pick. I've got respect for Royal Mazarin. He holds flag bearer on the Alpha Teak run. At his best, he should be thereabouts. The filly in the race, Go Flickety, you'll recall her full sister, Flickety, by far, she was well above average, a staying filly. So with 50 kilograms to shoulder, she could have more scope for improvement. But I don't really like the look of this race, and that's the reason why I've got 5 horses in the first leg of jackpot number 2.
Yeah, some of us will remember African Torrent, who didn't feature behind Poets Warriors, as you say, may have been a pace setter. But let's have a look at what we're going to do in this race now. Put some jackpots up. It's an opportunity to do so, and Daryl's worked out a jackpot for us. As you can see, no bankers. It's quite competitive, but may well be worth taking. Right, let's get on to our next race on the card now. Let's chat about Turpitz is the one to beat the favourite here that James Crawford trains for. Brett and Cabela Matsanyani is riding at 2-1. Destiny of Souls 4-1, the second choice. 2 Sage King is at 6-1. 3 Lord Var is at 13-2. And the 4 Forward Spell, who am I giving a little bit of an outside chance to personally, is 8-1. Darren, let's come to you. Talk about this horse Turpitz. I know the stable fancy this very strongly.
Clyde, I did banker this in a PA, but I still believe this horse is a sprinter. I know it's difficult to say on pedigree, Silvano out of a Galileo mare, but he doesn't stay. And I think when they drop him back to 1200 meters, we'll see the very best of him. But 1450 in this type of company, he should be very competitive. His danger could be his stable companion, Sage King. He's had the comeback run, wasn't disgraced. Others to consider Destiny of Souls. I know he's highly regarded, but he isn't quite putting it together. And I'm just waiting for this horse to show his true potential again.
All right, it's one thing not to stay, but if you're up against a weaker field, perhaps that's where you can get it right, this horse Turpitz. And that also, there was a winner out of there, Daryl, that came from that form line, right? That we saw the other day.
Yes, Trident King, Clyde. You can just look back at in his form. I mean, Spin Doctor, Eye of the Prophet, Asia Pambile, they're all decent sorts, above average. Likely race 4-year-old. Yes, to be considered. I'm going for a little bit of value here, Clyde. I know he appears to have lost the plot in recent times, but number 5, Excuse me, number 5, Let's Do It. Have a look at his rating. His latest victory was off a 76. He's now off a 74, so he's below that mark. Jockey up, one would say. And his latest 2 starts have been in yielding and soft conditions, and I think he's a much better horse on a firmer track. So with Gavin Larena from a 1 draw of a competitive rating, I'm expecting him to be in the money. Forward spell, number 4, Clyde, rested and gelded. I don't believe we've seen the best of the son of Futura yet. He appears to have breathing issues, but hopefully they've been sorted, and I'm expecting him to be thereabouts. But I think that the value for myself at least is number 5 for a place. Let's Do It.
All right, let's do it. There's a bit of value, so I'm looking for Shrewdies in the race. Having said all of that, the stable very bullish about the favourite here. This is what we're doing in this particular event. Let's have a look at the running of the selections anyway. Race number 6, and Daryl Marie has found the Shrewdie called Let's Do It. As in the 16 to 1, it's going for that particular horse a place, trading at around 3 or 4 to 1 a place. Let's do it in this race. Let's get on to our next race on the card. Have a look at what the story is here. Where Texas Red's top of the boards at around 2 to 1, 22 to 10. Utombo Wazi, second choice, number 5 on the card at 5 to 2. 7 Stormy Seas is trading at 9 to 2. And then you've got number 8 Arbitrator, who's trading at 6 to 1. The 2 Bronco Blitz is 8 to 1. It's 12 to 1 and better about the others. So Texas Red, top of the boards. I see there was good money for Stormy Seas last time out. Darren, this kind of race, I don't know. I can't figure it out. Give us some insight what you like. For me, if you run it 2-3 times over, you get 2-3 different results.
Well, Clyde, the value definitely lies with a horse like Bronco Blitz. Now, have a look who he beat in his penultimate start. He beat Takernaut by a nose. Last time out at Turffontein, never really in the race. He's capable of running a good race, but Umtombo Wilwazi, very good winner last time out over the minimum trip, and he could well follow up in this type of company. Texas Red has to go in. Stormy Seas has to go in.
Yeah, it does look that way. Daryl?
Yeah, I have to agree that the value lies with number 2 Bronco Blitz. He's just not the most consistent, Clyde, so that's a concern. But have a look, he's recorded 3 career victories to date, all of them over this course and distance. So he's certainly at his best of year. And Takernaut came out and won that Grade 3 Labello of the weekend. Stormy Seas outpaced early last time out. If he's in contention going through the 400, I wouldn't be surprised to see him reverse that form with Ontombo Walwazi. He is 2 kilograms better off. Texas Red, in with a shot, I just believe he's far too short in the market currently, and he needs to behave behind the bends.
Okay, so kind of race as previously stated. Perhaps you run it 3 times over, you get 3 different results. Maybe Bronco Blitz is the vaal specialist. Who knows? Let's see. Well, here's the 7th race selections. The guys having a look at what we're doing, and we thought perhaps the best way to do it is to do some trifectas in what does appear to be a really open race. On to the last race now, Captain Dizzy, the Cape Town horse that joins the Puerto stables, top of the boards at 7 to 2. Darren Burrows will know a little bit more about the Cape Town runner. What do you think?
Clyde, this horse earlier on in his career, he had quite a bit of ability and then he sort of lost his way a bit, but his rating tumbled. If you look at his last start, 75, he's dropped another 6 points. He hasn't run since the 11th of May. It's his first run on the high fault. There was a lot of anti-post market support for this horse. So I would monitor the market closer to race time, watch him go to the start, And if he is ready, he has to be included in this type of company. Horses to beat, Wings of Nike, took on a lot stronger last time out. In this company, drawn hard up on the outside, she should be very competitive. And of the rest, In the Ether was impressive in Cape Town last time out.
Okay, that's your version of it. Daryl, your side?
Clyde, I think Wings of Nike is in good enough form to finish right there once again. You know, Shaylan's doesn't have many runners, but the ones that he has been stepping out recently are certainly in fine fettle. And yeah, you got a filly in good form off a competitive rating. She's drawn towards the outside, which hopefully is superior on the day for her chances. So she should be thereabouts again. Samoa, now Gavin Lorena's back in the irons. He gets a great tune out of her, Clyde. She's a 8-year-old mare, but you can't ignore chances. A difficult race, Clyde. I'm not too sure what to make of it, but Wings of Nike is my first pick.
Yeah, it does seem to be hard. And I like a horse called, believe it or not, Power Ranger, who's any price, and maybe a trifecta or exacta horse. Just looking at the form. All right, well, let's take a look at what we're going to do, guys. What's the plan in the last race on the card with regards to the final leg of pick sixes and place accumulators? And the play Wings of Nike, as you heard, is one of the guys are sort of leaning towards that. It's worth place investments, but it does appear to be one of the tougher races on today's card.